Well, let's see what God's thinking on this is, okay? You got my perspective there. Look up in verse 16 of chapter 3. Come on. This is after they did what they did, and God's confronting them. He said, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, thy conception. Now, you think that's not going to affect her marriage? She didn't know sorrow before. That's according to Scripture. Now she's going to know sorrow. And in her conception, she's going to bring forth a rebel son that's going to slay her good son.
Yes.
God's not playing with this thing. You can't change what I have ordained. Stop it. Because the judgment of God came in verse 16. I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, thy conception in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Well, there's a change taking place for sure. Because when God created the two of them to have dominion over his creation, it was with a co-regency in mind. It wasn't that Adam would rule it by himself.
That's right.
You will rule over it together. And now he says, from this point on, Eve, your desire will be to your husband in submission and subjection to him, and he will rule over thee. You think that changed that marriage? You think it didn't change your perspective? Go on and read the rest of the book, you'll find out. Change it. Change it. Wait. There will be a great sorrow in conception. There will be a change in your marriage relationship. Genesis 3:17. Look at this one. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten the tree which I commanded thee, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Here again the word sorrow. Sorrowful task. Hard work. You didn't find that before the fall. You're going to find it after the fall. Now he worked before the fall, but it wasn't a sorrowful task, and it wasn't so laborious it was going to kill him. But from now on, Adam, you're going to spend your life providing for your household. It's going to be the ultimate task in your life. It's not going to be a joyful task necessarily. It's going to be a hard task. To provide for your family, provide for your household, provide for your children. Not just in physical provision, but in their protection, in their well-being. It's a major task that's going to be put upon you at this point. And then down in verse 19. He said, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it thou wast taken, dust thou art, dust thou shalt return. You know what he's telling her? Adam, you're going to die. She's going to die, you're going to die. I warned you, the day you eat thereof. But you're going to return to the dust from which you were taken. Now, do you think that any of those principles, any of those truths, any of that judgment had any effect on Adam and Eve in their relationship? From now on, buddy, it's work. It's not get up and say, good morning, honey, automatically. It's not that you're going to love Eve automatically. It's not that you're going to provide for her automatically, because you're going to be self-centered, you're going to be self-ambitious, and so forth and so on. So Adam, you have asked for some problems that I wish you hadn't asked for. This is the problem. The curse. Okay. Let me give you another one. There's a Satan involved here. Okay. What did he attack? He didn't attack the tree that had the fruit on it. He didn't attack the mountains, the rivers, or the stars. He came directly to the primary institution that God has ordained for human society, called marriage. Amen. That's where he came. And when he came, he did what he did as the story gives an account. But he didn't finish it. He didn't finish it. Because if you keep reading Genesis, you'll find sins like this. Polygamy. Genesis 4:19. Would that happen to affect marriage? I believe it. How about evil sexual thoughts and words like when Ham and the sons of Noah saw the nakedness of Noah? What was going on there? Wicked. What about the adultery in Genesis 16 verses 1 through 3 with Abraham's wife, Sarah, and her handmaid? sins of Sodom and Gomorrah, Genesis 19, 4 through 11? What about the rape of Dinah, the daughter of Leah, in Genesis 34, 1 and 2? What about the incest in Genesis 38, 13 through 28? What about the prostitution in Genesis 38, 24? What about the evil seductions like with Joseph, and she tempted him and wanted him to lay with her in Genesis 39? Do any of these affect marriage? All of them. All of them. And ploy after ploy after ploy after ploy, all opposed to marriage.